I'm on here because I have updates to share. So, the less I react, the more aggressive their stalking gets. Um, Today, I came home and one of my security systems let me know that someone had at least opened my door. I don't know how far they came into my apartment, but I do know that my door was opened because of I have how I have things set up. Um, while I was at work, I did notice there were some people that were. I can actually give you an exact time if I were to really think about it. Um, but there were some people who were walking back and forth by my office, I think to see if my iPad was responding uh, to, like, my alarms were responding to the entrance that was made in my apartment. The reason I am fairly positive entrance was made is because my Ethernet security camera system has now been disconnected and it wasn't done by me. So there are no more cameras in here. So it's a free for all. I no longer care because there's nothing that I value highly in here aside from my cat. Um, but this is still part of the stalking. So I'm going to describe to you what happened from the minute I left my apartment. Before I left, I had to close the window because there is an apartment across from me that has now turned on an alarm that sounds when it senses motion. So when I leave my apartment, if I have the window open, um, the whole neighborhood gets a notification since I turned my location services off. So now they can still do their stalking because the motion sensor from the camera across from me is alerting the neighborhood. It didn't go off today because I closed the window, but I have a feeling if I were to open that window and stand in front, the alarm goes off. Um, that's the first thing this morning. I did my best not to say a word because I'm realizing the stink smell in the hallway. The voice file, I think, is real. They are recording a voice file because they're sending in like clips of me being annoyed or clips of me yelling or just like the random shit, and that's how they are able to track me and I don't know. I have no clue. Um, but some of the strange things that I noticed in regards to being trafficked when I left work, two people, one of the people I'm fairly positive knows of what is going on. And that is the one who asked me when I had noticed the security guard, Allied Universal Security Guard, standing with the door open, right? So here's what I've been paying attention to for probably a week now, a little bit more than a week, because I've noticed that almost every time if I'm walking out, a security guard is holding the door open. But I've noticed that they don't always do it. They do it when I arrive at work, they do it when I leave work, but they don't do it for anybody else. I've actually sat and watched. Um, so today, instead of taking their bait, because this goes towards my days are much more peaceful when I don't have a reaction to any of the harassment around me. Like, how do I describe it? So I will notice somebody standing in a position for too long, staring too long, or doing something that is out of the ordinary. Um, the longer they stand there, the more I notice them. For example, over the weekend at the Subaru dealership, there was a man there. He was a white man, uh, standing, and it looked as if he was waiting for an Uber. And as more and more time passed, right, Ubers come generally within like 15 minutes. So as it approached 15 minutes, I started to say things like, "You are resembling a pedophile." And then, like, the conversation that erupts from me because of all of this repetitive stalking and trauma, it makes me into an angry black woman. So then I start talking an enormous amount of shit towards a person who is very obviously stalking me to get a reaction. And they'll usually have their phone out at this point and they're like recording, and I'll be doing shit like this and stupid shit back. And then I decided I'm not going to put any more energy into that. So here's what I get when I don't put any energy into it. I come home to one of my security system features having been tampered with. And then the cameras in my apartment, all of them have been taken offline. You know why? They're mad because I took Wi-Fi offline. I don't need Wi-Fi. They were using Wi-Fi for whatever scandal shit that they were doing. So I think they are so dumb that they think messing with the Ethernet is going to make me turn Wi-Fi back on, or it's like a punishment for taking. I will cancel the Ethernet too and save $70 a month because I don't need that shit. So if my cameras do not turn back on, I'm canceling Ethernet, and then you have nothing. And I will go back to sewing clothes and watching regular television, or on my iPad or my iPhone. So I already know who my one follower is. And I'm not annoyed or irritated because you guys get more childish, more desperate. If you can do all of this, why didn't you do this at the beginning? That's why I don't care. If you can do all of this, there is no fear. If you can do all of this, why haven't you taken the shit that you've been threatening that you're going to take this whole time? You want me to give you something. There's nothing left for me to... I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to smoke my joint. I'm going to have a peaceful night, and I no longer need to tell you how worthless you are. You know it. You know it because, like, you can do all of this. No, my reason for using the internet is to report on my harassment. So I will always continue to report it, whether or not I have Ethernet or Wi-Fi. Getting rid of those things, it doesn't change my life in any way because I don't rely on them. Right now, I am using an Ethernet connection, but I can use my cell phone. I have cell cards. I will spend $10 instead of $70 and get another cell card for my devices. I'm not worried about you. But again, this is a waste of my time. I'm not going to waste any more hours on here. I will continue to update to let you know that my mental is still 100. I'm not angry. I don't need revenge. I need this to stop. At work today, they were like joking around, making comments. The people at work are so nasty. And I can say this now because I don't care anymore. They were making comments about like, and this is people in admin making comments about Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi connection's slow. And all I'm thinking is they're doing this to like torment, harass, torture me. The other day, the person who actually trains me kept mentioning torment and torture. Oh, we wouldn't torture you like that. We wouldn't torture you like that. I cannot wait for you all to go to jail. So I have to continue to go to work at this job because I still have no proof that this is actually happening. I'm very excited to see what tomorrow holds. When I mention these things, I'm actually no longer, I don't feel the need to protect this place anymore because based off of not getting paid for Martin Luther King Day, that's already the biggest disrespect. I don't think I can accept a position at a place that is that disrespectful. So I'm ready for this to be over. It's not going to make them as happy as they think it is because I don't care about the stuff in my apartment. I don't care about the cameras. The cameras, if there's no cameras, I can say what I want outside. There's still a camera outside of my door. But I no longer have a care about this. And when I say no cameras, there are still cameras. I just have to actually fucking reset shit now. They're 24/7 recording. They're just not connected to the cloud right now because the hackers like DNS'd them or something. I don't know what the fuck they did. But like I'm able to still go on a live. This is through the same Ethernet that my cameras are hooked up to. I'm still able to watch my Apple TV. That's hooked up to the same Ethernet my shit's hooked up to. So whatever the hackers did, they hacked off the Waze system. They hacked off my 24/7 camera system. So it was just a free for all. I am crying because there's nothing I can do about this. If they can take the cameras off, that's any of the proof that I can get. So I'm just going to take all the cameras down, and we're not going to have any of it. Because I'm tired of you. And if you guys are going to come in here and start fucking with my shit again, so be it. I'm not fucking with you anymore. Good night.